So I welcome you all to this course on analog circuits, the subject code ADEC42. So I will be handling you the subject for this semester, and all the resources, study materials, as I was telling in my uh, demo class, will be shared to you in the Microsoft Teams platform. And few things I just want to make it very clear before I commence with the course. Now, please ensure that you maintain the attendance properly, because every time we say this, but this time I am not going to consider anybody who is going to be absent for the classes. The reason being the subject itself is being very interesting, as well as it is very vast in concepts. So if at all you are going to miss any of the concepts or any of the class, it becomes very difficult for you to cope up with the subsequent classes. So that's the reason why I am insisting you to not to skip any of the classes. Now, as far as the syllabus is considered, or the module structure is considered, we have 5 modules, and this is a 3+2 credit course, and all the modules have to be studied with the equal importance. And before we start with the exact syllabus and contents, like I just want to brief you about the textbooks what you are supposed to borrow from the library. Now you have Microelectronic Circuits Theory and Applications by Adele Setter and Kenneth Smith. It's of 6th edition. Now in the library you have the 5th edition textbook, which is of this texture, or the cover page looks like this. I'll share you the photocopy of this, and they are ample in number. You can just buy it from the or borrow it from the library. Now this is 5th edition. Entire contents are same. Only small bits are being restructured with respect to 6th edition, which is mentioned in your syllabus. That I'll tell you where they have made small modifications. But other than that, 90 to 95% of the contents are exactly same. So this is 5th edition. So you can buy it or borrow it from the library. So this is textbook number 1. And this covers module 1, 2 and 3. And the textbook which is going to cover module 3 and 4 are with respect to op-amp. Now this is the new edition or new cover page design op-amp, that is op-amp and Indian integrated circuits by Ramakant Gaikwad, and this is the 4th edition. So you can just see here, 4th edition he has mentioned over here. I will give the soft copy of this book also, but more or less this is also available in the library. Whenever you feel time, you get time, you can come down and borrow from the library. But to begin with the actual content, we are going to start with the module number 4, which is with respect to op-amps and negative feedback amplifier. For the reason you are now well versed with the transistors or the BJTs in your 3rd semester, and you have already gone through certain concepts of op-amp in your 1st and 2nd semester in your basic electronics course. And we thought this will be an apt move to start with to begin with your op-amp and negative feedback amplifiers and general applications, wherein all the concepts or the contents which you have already studied are being brushed upon, and a little in-depth analysis have been taken care in module number 4 and 5. So we are going to start with module 4 and 5. Now this is with respect to your contents. Are you able to hear me and see me? Please respond. Yeah. Please ensure that whenever you lose the connection or anything happens, please inform me so that I can reconnect it. Fine. Now with respect to attendance, of course, from Microsoft Teams, I'm going to download who are all present in the Teams login. But on top of that, I'm going to float one attendance in the middle of the class. Yes. Okay, I'll make it myself float. I'm going to float one attendance in the middle of the class through Google Form, and it will be floated in between the class. I'm going to send one link to your WhatsApp group, and one code will be shown here in the class, or I'll repeat the code, 4-digit code. You're supposed to enter that code. So those who are going to enter that code will be considered present for that entire class. Those who are going to miss that attendance will be considered absent for that class. So ensure that you are going to retain your attentiveness properly in the entire class, and try to ensure you enter that code whenever I am going to send that Google link or Google form in your WhatsApp group during the class. So that will be my attendance along with your Microsoft Teams. Fine. Now to begin with, the subject code is 18EC42, and like I was telling, I will start with module number 4, which goes with op-amp. Now, when we start with op-amp, as you know, op-amp is a 3-terminal device. So basically, the structure or the figure of op-amp looks something like this, and you have already studied that. So there is a 1 and 2. There are 2 terminals, input terminals. The third will be output, and there are 2 power supplies, plus VCC and minus VWE. Now I'm not going to get into the working or the exact working nature or the understanding of this op-amp. I'll just start with some of the basic characteristics that you have studied in your previous semesters. So when we started with op-amp in your previous semesters, like in the first and second or maybe the third semester, or for your understanding in your earlier semesters, we studied some 4 to 5 characteristics. So basically we said op-amp has got high gain, right? And op-amp should have high input impedance or input resistance, and op-amp should also have low output resistance, so that is low RO, and op-amp should have very high bandwidth, and it should also have zero offset. So these are some of the properties that we have learned in your previous classes. Now why I am going to deliberately showing these properties, that's because in this module 4 and 5, which says negative amplifier or negative feedback amplifiers using op-amp or op-amp as a negative feedback amplifier, it becomes very important for us to understand what exactly this gain means and why I should have a gain. And it also becomes very important to know why I should have high input resistance or high input impedance and low output impedance or low output resistance. And also along with that, what is the meaning of this high bandwidth? Now, once I am clear with these concepts, then I can replicate my entire op-amp structure in terms of its negative feedback structure. Now, basically, the idea here is to know why these properties are important, or the importance or the relevance of these properties when it comes to op-amp. So that's what I'm going to give you the introduction with respect to these aspects. Now, when I say op-amp, the first thing that comes to mind is the gain. So usually we speak of high gain or open loop gain or closed loop gain, right? So when we see this structure, so basically when I connect any op-amp, let's say if I'm connecting a source to an inverting terminal or a non-inverting terminal, and I'm not connecting anything between terminal 1 and 3, that is between output and input, and if I straight away take the output, so that is my open loop gain, isn't it? Because the loop is open, there is no connection between the input and output. So as such, op-amp is basically, we say that it's an operational amplifier, so it is basically a perfect linear amplification device which works in open loop mode as well as in closed loop mode. But then why is that we are going to use it always in closed loop? Because we have already seen that the op-amp comes always with this kind of structure wherein we are going to connect an RF, which is my feedback resistor between output and input. We never use op-amp as it is. We try to connect a feedback between output and input. Now, why is that we connect a feedback between output and input? Why is it that so? If I don't connect this feedback, what is going to happen? So that's what is the relevance of having an open loop gain and closed loop gain. See, when I calculate a gain without the feedback loop, that becomes my open loop gain. When I calculate the gain of this op-amp with the feedback, that becomes closed loop gain. Now, what is difference between these two, or how the gain varies if I calculate in an open loop manner and if I calculate in a closed loop manner. Now, in order to understand this, I should look upon something called as feedback amplifiers. Now, this is an example of a feedback amplifier. Basically, I am using op-amp in a feedback mode. But if I want to understand what exactly is a feedback or the relevance of feedback, I should first understand how exactly my general structure of the feedback amplifier looks. So that feedback amplifier structure something looks like this. So I'm going to draw the feedback structure. So here is my amplifier block. I'm going to give the input here and I'm going to take the output over here. Let's say I'm giving the input as X in or XS. XS stands for source because I'm not dealing with any kind of current or voltage. I'm just dealing a general structure. That's for the reason I'm considering simple variable where I'm going to call X as a signal. So the first input, whatever I'm going to give this to this entire circuit is my XS, that is my source signal, and here I'm going to write it as XI. So this is my input signal which is entering the amplifier now, and X naught is the output signal which is coming out of the amplifier now. So this is basically my amplifier block. Right now, let us not worry about whether it is a voltage amplifier or current amplifier or what kind of amplifier. Let's not worry about it. Let's simply say that it's an amplifier with a gain A. Now, I'm going to feed back or I'm going to fed back some portion of the output through a feedback network, and that feedback network having a gain of beta back to the input. And if I am feeding the feedback from the output back to the input in a negative manner, so that is my negative feedback, which means I am going to subtract some portion of the feedback or some portion of the output back at the input side. Here, what is my Xi? Xi is what? The total Xi is now, it is Xi minus, the total XS is what? Xi minus this signal. So basically, what is the signal? X naught is coming over here. So X naught is coming over here. It gets multiplied with this term. So that becomes X naught times beta. And that is entering back with some over here. So basically, now my new input to the amplifier is what? The Xi minus beta into X naught. So that is my new input. Since I am subtracting some portion of the output signal and then feeding it back to the input, so that results into my negative feedback. And if I suppose if I add some portion of the output back to the input, then that results into a positive feedback. Now, since I'm not going to use positive feedback now, of course there are difference between positive and negative feedbacks. They both of them have separate roles to play. Now, basically, I will be using the positive feedback when it comes to oscillators, and I will be using negative feedbacks when it comes to amplification. So, whenever I am going to feed back the output signal back to the input by subtracting the feedback signal with respect to input, that is my negative feedback. Negative feedback. Now, let's try to calculate the gain of this entire circuit. I'll just drop it out. Let's try to calculate how does this amplifier block with feedback is going to give me the value of gain. Now let me tell you something about this beta network. So basically this beta is a resistive network. It is made up of resistive element. It basically or preferably it will have some resistive components in it. Now I try to show you what exactly this beta network will have when we try to map the same analogy in terms of op-amp. Now op-amp use modulator, I'll try to show you what is exactly your main circuit having a gain A and which is your feedback network having a value of beta. How exactly that feedback network looks. That I'll try to show you when I take the realistic example in terms of op-amp. Now this is a generalized structure. Let's try to calculate what is the gain of this entire circuit. Now if I ask you what is the gain of this amplifier, what is basically gain, how you calculate output by input, right? Now if I just assume that there is no network connected over here, if I assume that there is a simple one amplifier with gain A and there is an input given to the amplifier and I am taking the output. If I want to calculate the gain of this amplifier, the gain of this amplifier A is what? X naught by Xi. Isn't it? So that is my gain of this block. Now if I try to calculate what is the output from the beta network, this is X naught is coming over here, it is getting multiplied to beta network or beta, and then final outcome is X naught times beta. Let me call it as XF, that is feedback signal. So XF, we call it as X naught times beta. And let us calculate what exactly is the input that is entering the amplifier A after feedback. So what is Xi? Xi is what? Xs minus Xf. So basically Xs is equal to Xi minus Xf. That is my feedback signal. I hope it is making it clear. Now what exactly is Xf? We have already taken Xf as X naught times beta. So my source signal is this one. Now once we have from Xs is equal to Xi minus X naught into beta, let us try to extract Xi value from this. Just a moment. So this becomes Xi. So Xi is what? Xs minus, sorry for the confusion. Xi is what? Xs minus Xf. So this is reverse. Yes. Right. Now from this, let me consider what is the source input, what you are giving, that is Xi plus X naught times beta. So these are some of my equations. So basically, Xi is the input signal which is entering the amplifier. Xs is your main input which you are given to this entire circuit. Xi is the single input which is entering the amplifier block. See the difference. Xi into this is the input which is entering the amplifier. Xs into this is the input which you are given to this entire circuit. So there is a differentiation, right? So both are different. So I calculated the both values. I calculated Xi, that is Xs minus Xf. Then I calculated, from that I calculated Xs. Xs is equal to Xi plus X naught times beta. Now let us try to calculate what is AF. AF stands for gain of this entire circuit with feedback involved. See, look here. Here I calculated gain of the amplifier without feedback. So basically gain is what? Output by input. So without feedback means you can consider Manakila. So I considered only this block. So output is X naught, input is Xi. So that's my gain. Only gain of this amplifier block. Now I want to calculate the gain of this entire block. Now the entire block in output the entire block output is again X naught. Definitely no doubt of it. But what is the input to this entire block? Input to this entire block is what? Xs. So now my gain equation becomes X naught by Xs. Look at the difference. Gain of a single amplifier without feedback is X naught by Xi. That is exactly amplifier gain input to the gain output. And if I consider this entire feedback network, gain output to the gain input for this entire block. For this entire block, Xs is the input. So hence my gain with feedback becomes X naught by Xs. Now let us try to substitute some of the values. So already we have calculated what is Xs, Xi plus X naught times beta. Let us substitute that. So if I do that, I'll keep X naught as it is. Xs is here. I'll try to keep it over here. So basically it is Xi plus X naught times beta. So this is what I got. So gain with feedback, I got X naught divided by Xi plus X naught times beta. But again, what is X naught from this equation? Can you see? From this equation, I can see that X naught can be written as A times Xi. So can I substitute X naught as A times Xi here in this equation? So if I do that, so that will be here X naught divided by A times Xi divided by Xi will be as it is plus again X naught divided by A times Xi, and then beta. If I solve this gain with feedback AF, that becomes AXI divided by XI times 1 plus A times beta. XI cancels out, and my final equation with feedback results into A divided by 1 plus A beta. Look at the difference. What is the gain of the amplifier without feedback? It is A. What is the gain of the amplifier with feedback? It is A divided by 1 plus A times beta. So that is my new gain equation if I consider feedback structure. Now this is how I can differentiate. Now from these two equations, of course this is a very simple equation. Gain without feedback is what? Simple. The gain input the gain output the divide ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, I get the result. But if I use any feedback network, now how does my gain equation look? My gain equation looks something like this, which is shown over here. That is AF is equal to A. What is basically A? A is your open loop gain. So this is your open loop gain. Open loop gain divided by 1 plus open loop gain multiplied by beta. And what is basically beta? A resistive network, some value, a value which is produced by a resistive network. Now let us not worry about what will be the value of beta. So that's my equation. So let's try to put it side by side. So I'll try to work this out. So if I place them side by side, okay. Now this is my open loop gain, and this is my closed loop gain. Fine. Alright, yalla okay. Sir, open loop gain idu bantu, closed loop gain idu bantu. What is that I am going to gain from this? Idrinda nanage ಏನು use? A simple question. Guys, are you able to hear me? Guys, able to hear me? Yeah, fine. So now what is the difference? What is the difference? AF going to A going to. Now let's take a simple example. Example, let's say let A is equal to 10, and let us consider the signal voltage as input, V in as 1 volt. Now if I consider A as 10, V in as 1, and let us assume beta also equal to 1. Let's try to substitute these values once here and once here. So basically x naught by xi, this is basically a general expression. If I consider the same thing for voltage, that becomes A is equal to V naught by Vi, open loop gain, output voltage by input voltage. Because now I want to give an analogy how exactly these two matters. ಎರಡೂದರಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಏನು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಏನು ನನಗೆ ಲಾಭ ಅದಾವ I am going to show you. Now I am going to remove the general symbol. ಆಗಲೇ ಏನು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ x naught, xi, they are general symbol. It could be voltage, it could be current, it could be anything. Now I am going to consider voltage. Let's take an example of voltage. So simple voltage gain in another output voltage by input voltage. That's my equation. Now I have input as 1 volt, gain as 10. What will be the output voltage here? V naught is equal to A times Vi. So that is gain is 10, input is 1, output voltage is 10. Fair enough? So that is when you calculate with respect to a simple voltage amplifier without feedback. Now same thing let's calculate here. What is AF? What is AF here? Now if I just place different values which I have given, what is A I have given? I have given A as 10. So let's substitute over here. So basically what is my AF? AF is what? Output by input, A divided by. Yes?
So the audio and video both are not clear.
Fine. We'll try to rectify this. We'll try to rectify this in subsequent class. Okay. Now let's try to look into what exactly is the output voltage by input voltage gain with feedback. Now what is the equation now? V naught is equal to Vi multiplied by A times 1 plus A beta. Let's substitute different values here in terms of feedback. Input voltage is what? 1 volt. Let's substitute that. What was the gain? Gain is 10. All divided by 1 plus what is A? It is 10. And what is beta? It is 1. If I do the calculation, 1 into 10 divided by 1 plus 1 into 10. So if I do this calculation, I am going to get this as 0.9 volt. Look at the difference now. For the same input of 10 volt and voltage amplifier without feedback gave me a gain of 10, and for the same input voltage of 10 volt with feedback I got the output voltage as 0.9. Now which is good? Getting the output voltage of 10 is good or getting the output voltage of 0.9 is good? Obviously getting an output voltage of 10 is good, which is in terms of open loop amplifier, because look here, you gave the input as 1 and you achieved the output voltage as 10 volt. But whereas what has happened over here, you gave the input as 1 and you have got the output voltage as 0.9. It is in fact getting attenuated. Or I can put it in this way, in fact it is getting reduced. But still people try to prefer negative feedback amplifier over open loop amplifier. I'll tell you the reason. The reason is here. The reason is, let's change the input voltage, or let's change gain. Earlier it was 10, now I will make it to 5. If the gain is changed, let's calculate the open loop gain. So what is output voltage in terms of open loop gain? A into Vi. Again Vi is going to remain as 1. Let's consider Vi as 1. Output voltage is 5 times 1, so that makes 5. If gain is reduced from 10 to 5, what is the output voltage? Output voltage is also getting reduced from 10 volts to 5 volts. How much reduction happened? 50%, isn't it? Now let's try to put the same values here in the output voltage equation with feedback. Let's try to put that this equation. Earlier I got as 0.9 volt. Let's check. Input voltage is 1. Gain A is now has been reduced from 10 to 5. I'm going to use that 5 divided by 1 plus 5 into 1. Now I have already calculated it. If I calculate it, I am going to get the output as 0.833. Look here. Output voltage with feedback has reduced from 0.9 to only 0.833, which means only a small reduction in the output. But whereas output voltage drastically reduced from 10 volt to 5 volt the moment you change the value from 10 to 5. Not only A value 10 in the 5 change ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೆ output voltage nu exactly 50% reduction ಆಗಿದೆ, which means your output voltage is very dependent on your open loop gain when you consider an open loop amplifier. But the same thing doesn't happen over here. Even though A value reduced from 10 to 5, the output voltage doesn't reduce that much. Not 0.9 earlier output voltage is 0.833 present output. Look at the difference reduction. It is very I think it's hardly 5-10%. 5-10% in the reduction in the output voltage. But whereas here 50% reduction in the output voltage. Meaning ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ When you consider an closed loop amplifier or an amplifier with feedback, dependency on open loop gain, you should remember firstly the equation of an closed loop or the gain with feedback. Look here, gain with feedback. This is the equation. You should remember this. Gain without feedback is what? Simply A. So without feedback structure ನೀವು ಏನು ತಗೊಂತೀರಿ ಅವಾಗ gain ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ವೆರಿ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಅದೇ when you consider a feedback amplifier, even though gain gets affected the way which I have shown over here, gain has been affected from 10 to 5. 10 is 5 change ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 10 is 5 change ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು output doesn't get affected to that extent. But there is a point over here. Point is what? Sir, idella okay, but my output voltage kammi bandayti sir. That's one thing, right? Look here, if I consider an open loop amplifier, output voltage was whatever input I am it is getting multiplied with A, that is gain, that is input multiplied by VI. VI into 10, I am getting 10 volt. VI into 5, I was getting 5 volt. Gain and output voltage ಇಲ್ಲಿ open loop amplification ಒಳಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತು, but closed loop amplification ಒಳಗ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. That is the major trade off. If you want to have large gain, you can go ahead with open loop amplifier, but in a complex circuitry, when we take a very complex circuitry, when we build a big circuit and when we try to get the integrated circuits out of it, ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಳಗ ನನಗೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸಿ ಆನ್ ಓಪನ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಗೇನ್ ಭಾಳ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನನಗೆ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಚಿಂತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ನನಗೆ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಗುಡ್ ಡಿಸೈನರ್ ಐ ಬಿ ಲುಕಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಇಟ್. The variation here, the change in the output voltage, even when I change the value of A from 10 to 5, is not that much. But the same thing, the variation in the output voltage, when I change the value of gain from 10 to 5, is 50% reduction. So hence, people or when we construct a complicated circuits, we try to prefer the closed loop structure or amplifier with feedback, or specifically amplifier with negative feedback. Of course, there's a trade-off. Output voltage kammi bartade, but the dependency on the gain has reduced. Na yadra melu dependent illa. Gain ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ನನ್ನ output voltage ಭಾಳ ವೇರಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. It will be more or less a constant only. So that is the advantage of negative feedback amplifier, and that is the reason why op-amp also comes with the negative feedback. I can even have positive feedback also. That's altogether a different concept. But the reason being op-amp having a negative feedback is this one. It will ensure that the dependency of open loop gain on the output voltage is very minimal when it comes to dependency of gain on open loop amplification only. Now, bare idasthe tagondappa andre A change adra output change agutte, A henge change agutte output hange change agutte. But when I take this feedback, A henge ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ change ಆದ್ರೂ ನನಗೆ finally output will not change that much. So that's the reason how the feedback concept works. So this is all about the feedback concept. So in the subsequent next class, we are going to discuss why we take high input impedance or low output impedance when it comes to op-amp, because they are very relevant and very important characteristics of an op-amp. I should be able to understand that as well. Once I take that, or once I understand why input resistance or input impedance of an op-amp should be very high, or why the output impedance or output resistance of an op-amp should be very low, then it becomes very easy for me to go ahead with the op-amp as an amplifier concept. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to send you a Google link. I'm going to send you a Google link now. You just try to open up that link and try to fill your attendance. Please check your WhatsApp group. See, with respect to the clarity in the video or audio, we'll try to resolve it as and when the classes come in progresses. But this is what is basically the significance of negative feedback amplifier. Try to fill that Google form. This will be open for only 2 minutes.